On Something to Talk About, today we spend time with the owners of the house where we do this program every week. King's Restaurant is the home of our set, but it's also the backdrop to many family celebrations. A local feeding spot that has filled Guam's stomach for 40 years on Something to Talk About. Welcome to Something to Talk About, and welcome to King's, the grand reopening of King's, newly renovated. I know you've seen some pictures of it. The bubbles in the background, it's got to be the coolest thing when you walk in the door. I'm with, the people who have made this happen for many, many years, Dave and Lucy Alcorn. This has never happened with Lucy Alcorn, by the way, so I'm really, really grateful that you're sitting in front of the camera. Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
It's
Buenas.
good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, whose idea was it to brighten up everything? Because it's really, really nice.
You know, it was a collaboration of a bunch of people, the architect, the design company out of California, the local architect, of course, ourselves. We wanted to do something more bling, modern, more contemporary. A lot of competition on Guam, a lot of changes in Guam the last couple of years. So we felt really compelled that being one of the industry leaders and original industry folks out here, that whatever we did in our remodeling, we had to make it that much more different and better than what's around town. I think we kind of did it too.
I think you kind of did it too. I'm wondering how, Lucy, you were able to.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think of that?
I think it's beautiful. I really, it doesn't even really, I have to absorb it for a while. And I think that when people see it, when they start coming in.
It feels like King's. It still feels like King's, but it looks more modern, more different.
It's certainly got a modern look about it.
And it's still a family restaurant.
The idea, though, and I know that this is really important to you, Lucy, that it has that family feel. Like we still feel like we're sitting around a kitchen table, and you still feel like you're eating familiar foods that are in your own household. How much of a hand do you push on that one, on making sure that it feels like family?
Well, I think all of us have a hand in it, and I think our folks here at King's, I mean, we've been around a very long time, and David always pushes, you know. I've learned a lot from him as well, you know, service, you know, and I think that even if we have an off day and the food isn't that good, if the service is great, you know, the people would come back. But I think we do have great food and great service, and now we have a better environment, a great ambiance for them to be in.
But you're spot on. She does have a say-so in what goes on. I mean, all women do, and Lucy's a woman and then some, right? So, and I think, in all fairness, that, you know, when she hears of things, and she's in a text message with the managers and communicating about what's going on operationally, and even if she's not here, she's here in communication.
Oh, she's quick on the draw with
very
texting.
savvy, very savvy.
I tell you what, if something goes wrong, I'm sure that she's already on it. Any other changes that you're making aside from the aesthetics of the restaurant?
You know, it works well. We were pleasantly surprised the last couple of years when we got back into this business that it did as well as it did. The growth was phenomenal. So we decided, after a couple of years watching the growth and the way the market revisited the brand, that maybe we shouldn't change too much on the menu and just stay with specials and some upgrades and continually being innovative in the food line. We thought with the decor, we wanted to kind of keep it where it is. The next step is probably Dededo, our location up at Compadres Mall. We really are going to reassess our investment up there. We do have some improvements planned for third quarter this year, light improvements, tile, bathrooms, carpets, that kind of thing. But we're thinking maybe second quarter next year do a much major improvement up there like we did here. And then we're always looking for a third location. We've had a couple of nibbles.
Are you really?
Yeah, we've had a couple of nibbles. You know, having an independent operation in Guam, it's really been interesting to watch how this does compared to the franchise businesses.
Right.
So I think there is a need for a third operation. But it's, you know what, just talking about the industry as a whole, though, it's amazing to see these other folks coming up. You know, Mezcla has done a brilliant job. Pro has done a brilliant job. Mosa is another up and coming, and then Cafe Lingo, is it called, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's some really interesting guys that have.
pretty
Always
busy.
busy,
It's
yeah.
always pretty
Great
busy.
food.
Yeah.
I hear.
And you
and
got,
we
and you
watch-
got the Pika's folks. I mean,
and Pika, yeah.
Kitchen
and,
lingo, yeah.
and we watched those smaller operations, and I kind of look back to when we were that size and the old Gibsons and way back, and we're very fortunate. We've been out here for 40 years, and we're doing.
You've
you know,
fed a lot of
people, yeah,
people.
yeah.
I mean, you've fed a lot of people, and I'm here once a week to do this program. And what's really appealing about it is that you see, like, older senior citizens. They come for that manga beans and ham hock, or the kaddu, and then in the next table, you see an Asian tourist family, come through.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word of mouth is. I know you don't have a bus that pulls up here
No,
and drop
yeah.
off
No, not
tourists,
at
so
all.
it's
It has a
really
very
word of
broad-
mouth, isn't it?
Yes.
A
Yeah.
very broad appeal, just from young to old, and then there's the different components: the late night customers, the dinner customers, the breakfast. So when you look at it, the age demographics and the hour demographics, it attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, but you're not necessarily even competing with yourself, though, next door with Ruby Tuesday. I mean, it's a different market, or it's the same market with different appeal, or what is that?
I think you said it right. It's the same market, different appeal, but
There
it's
you
also a
Yeah.
price point. This is a much lower price point, much more value. Ruby Tuesday is more of an experience and casual upscale dining, salad bar. But there are two different segments, as far as a diner's choice. But you look at Restaurant Row, and we call it Restaurant Row
Yeah.
now. You've got us, you've got Ruby Tuesday, you've got Chili's, you've got Applebee's and IHOP. So there's quite a variety here. We found the last year, since all the competition's opened up, that it's actually helped business. More people come to this area. It's kind of a destination of sorts, and once they get here, they decide where they're going to eat at.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been, great to come here. The show that we are presently doing is almost at number 100, by the way. We've had almost 100 shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're almost
Wow,
there.
congratulations.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, congratulations.
That's
to
your flowers, huh?
Thank you for those.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of the feedback I get is that people like the comfort of this whole thing at the kitchen table. It sort of feels like you're eating in your own house with a lot of the local foods, and it's a personality, really. It's a personality.
Very homey.
Yeah, very homey. Tucson is a hot spot still, though. I mean, would you want to see a King's in Tucson? or was that-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if one of these days it ever really comes up,
It's funny you should say that. A couple of months ago, Lucy mentioned that we really need to be in that market down there. But, the real estate choices aren't that good yet. There's still some, you got the Plaza, which is doing really well, but then you go south of the Plaza, there's not many opportunities yet, other than Cracked Egg, which is a good location. But I think once real estate's more developed in that central part of
it's
Tucson,
something
there'll be
we're
better
still
options.
thinking. We still.
Yeah, you could still. There's,
It's an
the
option
fact
one of
that there's
these
still a
days.
lot of pedestrian traffic down there.
Yeah,
There's,
yeah.
you've got to
Yes.
walk in and ready-made crowd. Think about a Contra Mall, just by the way, just saying. But
I hear
nonetheless,
that's a new place,
It's
right?
a
It's got-
great new place. We're all moving down there. We'd love to have a King's in the
That's
place.
right.
Yeah, we're all
That's
very
King's
looking
at
forward.
Conto Mall. Has
King's at a Conta, how's that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Cliche.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that you have a lot of guests that came in today, and King's is already, by this time, was already open for patrons to come by and revisit the ambiance and take in all of the new things that you've done. I'm impressed by the bathroom. I don't know how much of a hand you have in that, but the fading lights are pretty cool. And then the new hand
Oh, you like
dryers,
that? Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
all the rage everywhere.
Yeah.
The new
Very
hand dryers.
sanitary.
Very sanitary. That's what a lot of people look for. I know that you are keeping a lot of the menu the same. You don't. Is there anything out there that people are going, God, when you guys kind of will you think about making this or?
That's always the case.
Yeah.
But the menu is still the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely, now that we've got the basic improvements back into the store, more modern, and the kitchen's updated, we definitely have some space and some area we can go into some different beverage lines and food lines. So we definitely have some thoughts ahead of us on what we want to do and direction we want to go. We want to keep the core menu, the core value that people like and the core things. In fact, we have a promotion coming up soon called Best Ever, which is all of our favorites that we've had over the years.
Oh, nice.
That we're going to roll out very soon. And then beyond that, we'll continue to look for new items that we want to adapt to. But I think our menu is pretty well adjusted. It's 120 items on the menu. There's
If you
14,
can't find
15
something
specials.
about 120 items,
Yeah, right.
really,
Quite a selection there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the favorites like ham hocks and mango beans and beef shank. And so I think we're the number one seller of beef shank on island, right?
Yeah.
We sell so much of it. So.
Well, yeah, but also there is still a really big market, a growing, probably thriving market for people who are looking for that light, fit fare, healthy fare, that sort of thing. You have to.
Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
Salad bar.
Salad bar.
Salad bar.
on the island.
Yeah.
You guys
That's
say
right, there you
best
go.
Salad bar. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you,
to
thank
both
you,
of
thank you.
I'm so happy. So we've known you guys for such a long time, and you've been great hosts and cooks for all of us here. We're to come back with another part of the conversation with Monty Mesa from GPO. We'll be right back. And welcome back again. Congratulations to Kings on their re-grand opening. It's really nice to be here in the corner, as we have it, at a kitchen table here at King's Restaurant in Tamuning. And we are sitting today with the general manager of GPO, our friend Monty Mesa. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for, well, it's not my restaurant, but you know, I feel like a little ownership in it. And you do too, I think, right?
Oh,
You've
yes,
been
I
part
mean,
of the family for a long time.
They've been here over 40 years,
Yeah.
and it's great that Dave and Lucy was able to do a renovation and again kick it up a notch more with all the competition that's been happening around our area. But you know, it's a great thing that Dave was able to make this renovation happen, and it looks very beautiful. And I think the people of Guam will appreciate the upgrades that Dave put in.
Well, I mean, King's has always sort of been the flagship restaurant of this whole, you know, development here. It's had staying power from the very beginning, for sure. And it adds yet more to the, thanks guys, for our water. It adds more to the personality and the reputation of this area. This is Food Row. This is like Restaurant Row, right?
Well, he has a real prime location. This is a key prime location for Dave, and when he first selected it, when we first did the development, back during the Gibson time. And of course, now, again, being in a corner premium space, he needed to redo this renovation, which turned out very great. And I think the people of Guam will really appreciate it and enjoy the experience, the King's experience.
The King's experience. It's good to see so much a development of GPO itself. I mean, so many things have happened in and around this complex over the last couple of years with the additions and the expansions.
Right. We continue to evolve, and that's what, you know, it's our continual challenge, is keeping up with what our customers, our local customers want, and want to see some new stores coming in, new restaurants as we evolve. So we've been very fortunate that King's is a mainstay. It's, you know, open 24 hours. Whether through all the typhoons, he remains open to, again, provide the service that people want. But I think overall, King's has always been a great tenant here at GPO. And they continue to attract our local customers, and that's something that we've always treasured. We appreciate and continue to want our local customers to patronize GPO.
What are you taking your cue, or who are you taking your cues from when you're making decisions about the space that's at GPO? It doesn't open up often, but when there's an opportunity to expand or put something else in, who do you take your cues from?
Well, we listen to our customers, of course, and a lot of that we also continue to talk and contact people in the mainland who have not yet been to Guam or have their businesses in Guam, and try to educate them on the opportunity. And it's great that we have solid local businesses here like King's that has shown the longevity of a business if it's run properly, if it's run and serves the customers in the proper way. It retains the customers and it continues to operate successfully. And we use King's as one of our are examples of a local restaurant, but has continued to thrive in this prime location where it is.
You also have like, you know, a good reputation with the mainland franchises that are within the GPO actual building. A lot of mainland stores. Have you ever been to Ross like early in the morning when it opens? I don't know if you have a reason to go there
Yes,
really early.
well, they used to open at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then they moved the time to 9 o'clock, then
then
to
it's-
8 o'clock, and now it's 6 a.m.
It's 6 a.m.
because-
Have you ever seen it? It's a stampede
Yes.
of tourists is what it is, right?
Yes, it's been another successful operation when we
Yeah.
first started, and it just continues to grow. Of course, people today are always looking for the best deal possible. Not only our local people, but even our visitors. Visitors today are very sharp with checking and comparing prices to their cell phones, and they're very mobile. And once we started to have Ross continue to do well, they started to see that, wow, they need to expand their hours. One day soon, maybe it'll become even longer. Could be 24 hours in the future, but that is something that they're studying at the moment.
You still got some great outlet stores inside there as well, national brands.
Yes, we have 14 national corporate stores in GPO, and the other one that's very successful besides Ross is the Tommy Hilfiger, the Calvin Klein stores. Those are very popular with visitors, especially with the Korean visitors. They really appreciate
see the brand names.
the brand name and the quality of the goods, and the selection of the goods is overwhelming for them.
And they're always gonna find a cheaper price. I mean, they're always gonna be a more inexpensive price than they might find anywhere else.
And the beauty to what Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger does is they also have additional specials that you can find in their website.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
just look it
Put
up,
it on your
download
phone.
it, and they can scan
You
it.
can actually coupon on your phone
Yes,
these days.
that's right.
So it's not really necessarily a tougher sell to some of these mainland franchises because they already know there's a reputation of these businesses out here anyway. So when you go and try to attract a business to come to Guam, or if they express an interest, it's not reinventing the wheel, is it?
No, it's not. It's, again, showing examples of successful national tenants that we have, as well as local tenants that create a great synergy and a good tenant mix so that the new retailers that are looking at are familiar and at least know, oh, that's a tenant mix that they want to be part of. And that's how we were able to bring in Forever 21 when they looked at what we've put together in a tenant mix and showing who are our targets and who is here already.
Yeah.
Then they say, okay, we want to be there. And then it takes time. Again, when space becomes available, we are continuing to go after other national brands, that fast fashion brands. They want larger spaces, but we've maxed out the build-out.
Your real estate, you've maxed out the real estate. There's no other standalone buildings that are possible through here?
Only smaller ones, but
Yeah.
for things that are 20,000 square feet or more, we're out.
Yeah, it would be my boss that would be calling on this program right now. Hi, Rex. We couldn't take your phone call, and that's why. Are you attracting any particular? You're really good about this. He's quite coy when it comes to telling us about. Whoa, look at this. Well, breakfast, anyone? Here, why don't you answer that phone with Rex calling us on the air? Are there any businesses that you're attracting or are inquiring? I know it's a best kept secret, but
Well, as I said, we continue to listen to our customers, especially the younger millennial customers now moving out to the future. We're looking out, okay, how can we, we're going to be celebrating GPO's anniversary next year, 20 years. And looking out how else can we maintain the outlet concept, but also how do we retain our local customers who are growing with us, and how do we continue to attract the younger customers that are growing up and having their own families now. And yes, we are looking at fast fashion brands, and those are the popular ones that people continue to want. We're chasing after them and trying to convince them that it's the right time.
Are you chasing after Target?
Well, Target is a big box operator.
Yeah, it
We
is.
cannot
You can't put
we
you
can't put them
gotta-
here.
They don't do an outlet, a Target outlet, or anything like that. I'm sure
No.
you get that all the time.
Yes.
People talk about Targets. People talk about, I don't know, the big stores.
Yes.
Some of those other larger stores, and there really isn't that. It's not the personality of this particular.
Not for
building, but
GPO.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So what do you do? You listen to the locals. You listen to what the tourists want. Is there anything that's you see for this brand that's going to come up in the near future that we can look forward to?
Well, it'll be something that, again, it'll reach the families. It'll be both for
Okay.
the whole family, men, women, children's apparel.
Apparel.
That's something
But
that
you're
we're
not going to give us
looking
a
at.
name.
No.
Well, you don't want to jinx it. That's
Yeah,
the other
that's
thing.
right,
You don't
that's
want to
right.
jinx it. Well, listen, we look forward to everything that GPO does. Those of us who live in the neighborhood certainly appreciate, being able to come right down the street to go to the movies, and then there's the food court. The food court has had a few transformations as well.
Yes, we have a new addition. Of course, we lost Burger King, but we're bringing in foodies who
Yeah.
will be able to offer a convenience store that be able to offer prepared food, so people can, on
I understand
to
that's
go.
going to, they'll have a storefront, right? Will there be an entrance and exit from the parking lot, or you'll have to go through the food court to
No, they will
access?
have their own direct entrance and exit, so that they can open earlier and then
Yeah.
they can close later,
Okay.
especially after hours
Yeah.
when the mall closes and then the movie theater people
Okay.
are still.
Okay, so they have the freedom to
yes.
be able to manage their own hours after the mall already closes. Monty, it's always good to speak with you. Just real quickly, though, I wanted you to give a plug. The Nikkei Association having a lantern lighting ceremony coming up.
Yes, our Guam Nikkei Association is putting together a community event that we hopefully could continue on a yearly basis. And it's an opportunity for our community to come together and remember, reflect, and pay tribute to past loved ones. And all of us have, lost somebody in our lives, whether it's a family member or friend. And maybe this is a chance that all of us come together and remember our past loved ones, and we want to demonstrate that by floating lantern prowess that we've made, and we would invite all the public to come down, the families that would want to write messages, personal messages on the lantern, and float them on the evening of September 10th.
Is that going to be down at EPAL?
At EPAL
Okay,
Beach,
great.
yes.
Fantastic. We look forward to that. Thank you, my friend.
thank you.
Always good to see you.
You too.
All right, now let's eat some food. All right. That'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us on Something to Talk About.